And happy Friday and welcome back to Hot Cocoa. If this is your first episode that you haven't heard in a while, well, yeah, we're back. We took a break in August and when I say we, I mean me. I took a break in August to kind of clear my head, and we're going to get into all of that in just a little bit. But I wanted to say hi and ask how everyone was doing and kind of see where everyone was at. I feel like I haven't talked to anyone in a while, and the good thing I love about this podcast is that I've had people say like, yeah, I feel like I'm your friend even though I've never met you. So that's kind of why I'm like starting the episode like, how are we? Because I feel like if you guys think I'm your friend, like, of course I'm your friend. I love you all like so much. So that's kind of where I'm starting at. For starters, we have so much to talk about today. So I'm going to hope that this episode is 30 minutes, but let's be honest, I talk a lot and it probably won't be. One thing I missed about this is the talking. I really miss talking. I really just miss this. It's very therapeutic for me, even though it might not seem like it, but it actually is. And we've got a new setup going on right now. So if you are listening to this and you're bored and you want to watch the video, please go click on YouTube. I'm hoping that they'll be uploaded at the same time as the actual episode. I think that they will be. But if you are not aware, we have like a new set that I've come up with and I'm really excited. We've moved from the traditional, like just a small mic that like sits there. It's the same mic that I'm using, but we have a mic stand and I fixed my room. I moved a bunch of stuff around in August and kind of rearranged. So this is going to be like our guest seating. So obviously there's no guest right now. But when I have guests on the show, we're going to have another chair. I haven't figured out. I've been trying to find chairs and I literally cannot find any, by the way. So if you have any cool ones that you think that would be for the podcast, like please send me a DM because I've seriously spent like all month looking for cool chairs and I can't find anything. So anyway, sidebar. We're going to get another chair to my right. If you're watching the video, you'll see kind of the visual. If not, I'm going to try to like explain it as much as possible. And then I'm to my left. And behind me are these logos that are on the stickers. And thank you guys, by the way, for ordering stickers. We've sent somewhat out and there's still a ton in there, so I'll promote those eventually. But fun fact, this is actually rice paper. These two logos come from rice paper because I'm shaping a surfboard right now. I just finished it and it needs to get glassed, so it's about a month out. But we put these logos on it and they're going to be glassed in the surfboard. So it's going to look really, really cool. And I would love to have that surfboard be the backdrop, but I'm going to surf it. So, but we'll take pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, this is super thin material. So it's been kind of hard to like put everywhere and maneuver around. So I had these extra ones. So the set's probably going to change a little bit, but I think for the majority, this is where it's going to be. From a videographer standpoint, I know that it's backlit since the sun is behind me, but honestly, this is just the best placement of it. And I like being in the sun. And right now I'm getting a little tan in. So it's kind of nice. So yes, that is what we're doing. So sorry I haven't been here. We're going to talk about that in just one second, but we have a good setup for the month. We have some sponsors now. We have some guests that are going to come on this month. We have so many fun things planned. So get ready for just Hot Cocoa, like full force, baby. We are back and it's better than ever. So let's get into it.
This is Colette Moorhead saying grab your cocoa and enjoy the
show. All right, so August, let's just get into what we're going to talk about today. So basically the structure of this is I'm going to tell you guys about how I've been, and then I'm going to tell you guys about confidence. A lot of people have been DMing me, asking me on TikTok, like questions about confidence and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about what I've learned, some things that work, some things that don't work, and just kind of go from there. Then I got a lot of questions, which I don't normally get. So I thought we'd start off the month with some questions and then end the month with questions as well. So I figured that we could just start with that. So let's talk about August and where the heck I've been. I've been posting on Instagram like every week or so. Like I haven't really been on the Instagram grind as much, but I have been not doing a whole lot in August. As many of you know or do not know, I started school and I hate school like with a passion, and I'm sure a lot of people do, but you have to get that degree. So I wanted to take a break in August and just kind of enjoy life for like a couple weeks, and then I would start school in September. And honestly, I started school for Miracosta. It started on August 24th. So I had like 3 weeks basically to just kind of do what I wanted. a big part of me wished I deleted social media fully just to have those 3 weeks just to myself. But I feel like I had a good run as it was. I think like two summers ago, I deleted all social media for like pretty much the entire summer, like 3 months or something like that. And it was so good for me, so therapeutic. So I think I should have done that, but I'm sure I'll do it again. But now I'm feeling like super pumped up and I'm just really excited to get back into it. So I decided, a lot of you guys know that I worked at San Diego, and I've worked there for a really long time, like over a year or something like that. And I decided to kind of take a break and kind of enjoy August and not like really be tied down to like staying in Carlsbad, because I wanted to travel a ton and, you know, just not really be tied down to a schedule and just kind of do what my heart desired, basically. And I know a lot of people don't have that luxury to do that, but, you know, I saved some money up and just was like, I'm just going to surf all day and like read books and like whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. So I've had this mindset basically. And I think Dustin told me, we've had Dustin on the podcast before. He told me one time, if you want to do something in that moment, just go do it. Like, don't even think about it. And he's like, give yourself 3 seconds. He said, let's say you want to go film the podcast right now and you're feeling inspired. 3, 2, 1, go do it. Like, you have to count down in your head. So that's kind of what I did all summer for like 3 weeks. And that was actually really beneficial for me. It was different for sure. But it was really good for me. So I just kind of took August to surf a lot, hang out with my friends and my now boyfriend, which we'll get into. Because I know there's a lot of questions about that as well. But yeah, we just kind of spent time together and I really just wanted to surf and like enjoy it. The weather was terrible though. It was so cloudy in Southern California. Like, I know there's a lot of listeners from different states that listen to the podcast too. And let me tell you, it was probably the worst month for us ever. It was so gloomy and cloudy the entire time. And it was like that last summer. So I thought it would go away, right? Nope. It was worse. And I was so upset because honestly, like, how am I supposed to get tan? I'm already super like pasty as it is, but not that like really matters, but I mean, it does, because you can still get tan with like the clouds, but still, I sound so blonde right now, but whatever. Yeah, it was just like a bummer. Like, I don't want to go outside when it's cloudy. I just want to stand and read books. But like, I took like work off to go surf and do what I wanted to do, and it just happened to be cloudy. So I was pretty bummed. But despite that, it was so much fun. I took most of the time. Our friends worked during the week, so we were here during the week in Carlsbad, and we had some moments where we would just take off. We went to Big Bear again. I think I talked about on a couple episodes ago about me going to Big Bear. So it was same group as the first time. It was Micah, Alexis, Cole, and I, and we all went to Big Bear. And it's funny because the first time we went on that trip, it was just, we were all just friends, right? The first trip was like in May, and that was like super spontaneous. Let's go camping. Let's go to Big Bear. Like, it'll be fun. And we were all just friends. And then flash forward to when we went this past month in August, we're dating. Like, not all 4 of us, obviously, but Mike and Cole. I just said Mike and Cole are together. Oh, okay. Mike and I are together, and Cole and Alexis are together. So it was like a couple trip, which I've never done before, but it was really fun. But at the end of the day, we were all friends first, so it really was just more of like a friendly trip. But yeah, so we did that. What else? We did a lot of surfing up north. We have friends up there, and we got to go visit them. We did San Clemente camping up there. We did San Onofre. We went to like Cotton's one week. It was really fun, and I just like enjoyed. So with me taking August off, my like explanation was, I've kind of did a little bit of like searching and was like, why do I want to take August off? Like, what is like the ultimate purpose? And I think I realized that our society has such a prevalence on, you have to keep working on yourself all of the time, and you have to like self-help yourself no matter what. And I feel like a lot in like our generation specifically, I've seen it a lot on TikTok lately, is like, if you're not constantly working on yourself and making yourself a better person, or like you don't have a glow up every month, like you're not doing life right. And like, I personally don't agree with that. It takes time. For me to see where I was at a year ago versus where I'm at right now is like completely different. And like, you don't have to do that, like make that your goal, you know, like in a year I want to be a completely different person. Like that's no one's goal. It just kind of like happens over time based on like experiences and things that you go through. So I thought it was stupid that I had to always be working on myself. And then it also forced me to like kind of force myself to film the podcast and do stuff like that. And that's not what it was about. That's not what I'm about. I like to do the podcast because I love it and because I like to inspire people. And it just became kind of forced. And that's when I was like, all right, you need a break. You need to take a step back and figure yourself out so you can help other people. You know, like how can I help a lot of the podcast audience is girls, like women, young women. So it's like, how can I help young girls and women if I'm not fully there myself? So that's kind of why I took August off, just to like be with myself. I think 2 episodes ago, it was called like the shit show or something. I think it was that episode. There was so much happening in my personal life that I like went through. And I feel like July and June were so hard for me for so many different reasons. And I can't even talk about like 3 of them, that I just deserved to take off August and just, you know, have fun because I felt like I went through a lot. And you have to do that sometimes. So if you feel like that, I really encourage you to just do that. And you can come up with so many different excuses on like, oh, I can't because this, I can't do this because that. Then like reevaluate and like give yourself a goal. Like, oh, in a month I can take off, you know, like midway through July, I was like, okay, I made the decision. Like I'm going to work for 3 more weeks. I'm going to work every day and then I'm going to be done. And that's what I did. And it feels really good. It's a grind, but then when you get there, it's good. So that's kind of what I would encourage you to do is if you have time to slow down, do it. Even if your body and like your mind tells you that you don't want to, kind of try to force yourself into that because you don't have to do something all the time. And it's good to help yourself mentally so you can grow. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents. I don't have a lot to say about August. Nothing like crazy happened. I was just kind of here. I do have to say though, the stickers and stuff, we had so many issues with getting stickers here. If you're watching the video, here's my hydro, which is beautiful. It's pink, of course, because that's the best color in the world. Here's like 3 of the sticker designs, which I've posted before. And we posted all the other sticker designs and stuff like that. They did pretty well. So thank you guys for ordering and everything like that. They didn't do as well as I'd hoped, but I feel like in the future we can kind of grow on that. And I feel like I haven't been doing a really good job with marketing and stuff like that because it's just been like hard. Also Delaney is my like intern, you could say, and she's been super helpful with everything. And this month she's like taking over my Instagram. So if you see like a lot of posts and stuff, it's mostly her. Because we're on the grind and stuff, and that might include the stickers and the merch and the website and all that other stuff because we're still cultivating. It's still new, and I feel like not a lot of people know about everything on it. Okay, let's move on. I know you guys want to know about certain things in my life, and I'm going to try to nail everything that I think people want to know about right now. I know there's some questions I'm going to be answering to kind of help that. And if you guys are listening to your podcast and you have questions, like shoot me a DM and I'll write it down and answer it the next week. It doesn't have to be whenever I like put up a post and I'm like, hey, ask me questions for this week. Like you can always ask me a question. I'll 90% of the time, probably like nine times out of 10 answer it on the next episode. Because I do really like want to know what you guys want to know about because then it gives me ideas to talk about stuff. But that being said, one thing that I've one thing that I've heard from you guys is that you really want to know about confidence. And it's been funny because I've had a lot of people come up to me this week. Now, this is kind of a funny story. This week for me, I've kind of started new things and I started doing like outfit posts every week or every day. Monday through Friday is pretty much what it's going to be. And then Saturday, Sunday, I kind of do my own thing just to like get some space away, you know. Monday through Fridays are so crazy for me right now because of school. It's not even funny. So I've decided to take pictures of the outfits I wear, even if they're casual, like just chill, like shorts and t-shirt. Like I'm still going to do it because it's fun. And a lot of people from my hometown, so I'm still living with my parents and stuff like that, have noticed what I'm doing. And, you know, that's sick. I'm really glad that they're noticing, but I've probably run into like 15 people from high school this week. And that's what you get for living in a small town. And people can say that Carlsbad isn't a small town. I'm going to tell you right now, yes, it is. But I mean, I know a lot of people know me, and I've had a lot of people come up to me this week and say, you look like you're doing so good and you look so happy. And to me, that means a lot because at this time last year, I was like really depressed and had a lot of anxiety. And to see where I'm at now is kind of crazy. It's really scary, but like cool in a sense. And not a lot of people know about this. I think a lot of people right out of high school like went away to college and thought they were going to do so good. And I know some of my friends that went away did so good for the first couple months while I was doing really bad. And then they came back, and right now I don't think they're doing very good. And right now I'm thriving. So it's kind of like opposite pages. So that's what I've noticed is a lot of people go through their rough times, their happy times, obviously at like way different times. So, I mean, mine is in the middle of a pandemic. I'm doing great, but whatever. Other people aren't doing good. And I understand that. And it's an awful situation right now, but I try to push past that. That being said, everyone this week has said, I've been doing so good. People have been saying that I look different or and I act different. And they just said, I just look confident and my self-esteem has grown a lot, which is like a big compliment, but it's also not because I used to think that I was super confident and like had this great self-esteem in high school. And now people are telling me that I didn't and that I didn't look as good as I do now. And I don't necessarily think I had like a glow up. Like I didn't lose a bunch of weight. I didn't like get a new face. I didn't dye my hair. I didn't do all that. Like I look the same. I think it's just like what changed on the inside for me and that what I post is different. And because I mostly just don't care what people think anymore. And, that's kind of a really big thing. So we're going to talk about like how I had that transformation. But for me, it was really big to see people say that, to say that I've changed a bunch over the course of a year. And that has to do with the depression and anxiety I had last year starting at Palomar and just really not enjoying it and switching schools and doing what I needed to do for my own happiness and stuff like that. And it's really crazy to see how much it's changed and how happy I am now. Like I was going through my memories and stuff and I think I would cry every single day. I would be so upset. Like I would be bawling every single day. I would never want to come home. I would literally just go to work all the time and I would hate school. And it was really rough for me because at the end of the day, and this is not a jab to I know my mom listens to the podcast. Mom, this isn't a jab to you. I love you. It would be hard because I wouldn't want to go to school because I hated it there. Then I would come home and I wouldn't like it here either. So the only place that I really liked was San Diego because I worked and I was surrounded by new friends that I had. And I still tried to cling on to like high school friendships. And slowly those started deteriorating over time. And once I went to Maricosta, it got better. And we all know the whole story about that. I think like episode 8 talks about more of the story and stuff like that. But yeah, most of the time I was just coming home like super upset for no reason. And that's like kind of what depression is like you just cry and you're sad for no reason at any point in the day, even if you're having a great day. Because I had good days first semester. And the college jump is way different. The jump from like starting or from graduating, going to college, whether you're going to community or a 4-year or whatever, even if you're going, taking a gap year or whatever, it still feels like a piece of you is missing at the beginning because you were so stuck in this routine for 12 years or however many years you were going to school that it feels like a part of you is missing and you lose a lot of friends that you didn't think you were going to, but it's like inevitable. And I used to think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be friends with everyone. Like still like I'll be close to them. Like Instagram's so easy to be like in contact with everyone. Now I just don't really see a desire with that. And like my close friends and stuff, like if they reach out to me and I reach out to them, or I just thought about someone today and I was like, oh, I'm thinking about that person. Like I'll shoot them a text, So it's like we do have the ability to reach out easily, but it's like, will you stay in contact? There's like that difference in it. So yeah, just to see where I'm at right now is really, really inspiring for myself mostly. To see like how happy I am versus how I was last year. So it's cool. And I'm very excited. And I feel really good because I feel good. I look good. It's all I gotta ask for. My mental health is better too. So that being said, we're going to talk about kind of some of the things that helped me get out of this like rut I had to where I'm at right now. And a lot of it has to do with your self-esteem and your confidence. There's a lot of people that have asked me a lot of questions about it. Like, how the hell are you so confident? How the hell do you do this? How the hell do you do that? quite frankly, don't honestly really know that much, but like, it's totally fine. Here's some tips, here's some things, but let's get into it. This is like my favorite topic of all time. I think I'm so knowledgeable in it, but I'm honestly still learning every single day from other people and influencers and stuff like that. So there's some things that you can do on the inside to help you versus you can do on the outside. What's been helping me a lot this week is dressing good. So we're going to talk about like outside appearance versus like the inside appearance too. The outside appearance ones are more fun and like bubbly because I feel like we just went deep. So the outside appearance ones are, you got to dress how you, wow, I just heard this quote the other day. Like an hour ago before I started this, and I saved it to remember it. Oh, dress how you want to feel. If you want to feel like the baddest bitch on the block, you dress like the baddest bitch on the block. And I'm not saying you have to conform to like all the trends that are going on. I know there's like that baggy jeans, like tight shirt trends, and everyone's trying to like fit into this like specific category on how to dress. Who gives a shit about that? You have to just dress how you want to feel. If you want to feel confident, if you want to feel happy, if you want to feel sad, please don't feel sad. Don't put on sweatshirts. But you have to dress how you want to feel in order to feel that way or to help you start feeling that way. Now, the first time you dress like that, you might not feel like that right away. And that's fine. You just have to continuously keep dressing like that and just form fit to how you feel. And I guarantee you that will reflect how you feel and what you want to do. So for me, if I'm running a lot of errands, like, yeah, I want something comfortable, but I'm also like, okay, like the other day I wore like shorts and a t-shirt and I was running errands. And there's like a cute t-shirt and like cute shirt. The one thing that's been helping me a lot for confidence and stuff is the jewelry. The jewelry you wear is going to like mood boost you so much. For some reason, this isn't for everyone, by the way. This is just what I've experienced, by the way. So for me, I'll put on a lot of rings. I'll do my nails sometimes. They look trash right now, but that's okay. These earrings I just got from someone who sent them from Depop. By the way, thank you. I'm going to put her link and everything. And they're like these Chanel bottles. They're so cute. So I figured like Coco Chanel. Like Coco Chanel is not so cute, but like KOK. Okay, anyway. The jewelry's like been really helping me. Like the necklaces I wear, I always wear a necklace. I interchange them. Obviously, I have like so many. But they all mean something to me too. And what I've noticed too is like wearing crystals on you or something that's like sentimental or something that you think is gonna like mean something to you also helps your confidence in the way you walk and the way you dress. So I always say like dress to impress or like dress, like I just said, dress how you want to feel. But there's also like this funny thing I said the other day. If you want to feel like the baddest bitch on the block, dress like you need to. And go out. And let's just say you're having a terrible day. Like nothing lines up in your schedule. Like everything's hectic. And there's certain things like that you just can't control in a day. That's okay. It's okay that you can't control everything. And you're still in your outfit, right? Like if you're sad or you're angry about something, you can have those emotions. And I'm not saying don't have those emotions at all during the day. Like have them. I have them all the time. But there's a difference. Since you have a good outfit on, you might be sad, you might be angry, but at least you look good. I'm just saying. You could be sad as hell, but at least you got a fire outfit on. And then when you look in the mirror and you're super upset and you're crying, you're like, I still look good though. I'm crying, but I still look good, which is dumb. It sounds really dumb, but in return, it kind of helps sometimes, or it did for me. So that's like one of my biggest things is like kind of dress how you want to feel. That is a big thing for me. Try not to, and there's those days where I don't want to get dressed up and stuff, but like just pair the jewelry. I'm telling you, the jewelry, it's the confidence in the jewelry. I don't know what it is. The necklaces, how like those gold chain necklaces are going around, you guys, like wear one of those in like a baggy sweatshirt or something. Like there's ways to style, clothes that are baggy. And I understand too, a lot of, girls that listen to the podcast, like have a hard time with, wearing clothes and stuff like that. Like I'm also like not a size 2, and I know there's a lot of girls that out there that aren't, so it's hard to see these girls that are size 2s in these like really cute outfits and stuff. Like we know for a damn fact that will not fit my boobs. I know for a fact that that's not going anywhere. Like the shirt I'm wearing right now, if you can see it, like I bought it on Billabong and it looks super cute on the models, right? I need to wear a shirt underneath it in order for it to like, nothing to spill out. So there's ways to, it's hard for people that want to wear cute outfits but like physically cannot sometimes, for our plus size girls or whatever we are. If you're just not confident and you just want to wear sweatshirts all the time, like we've all been there. But like try adding the jewelry to it or putting your own style on it, something to it. So that helps me a lot. That helps me walk around confident. And that leads me to point number 2 in the physical appearance. Someone told me this and they said, you just have to walk like you are so confident and like you own the place. I don't care if you are on the street in front of a bunch of, I wanted to say, like no one's there. Let's just say no one's on the street, but you're walking down and pretending it's a runway. Just watch. I want you guys to stand up right now. Listen to this. If you're listening to this right now, which obviously you are, I want you to stop whatever you're doing, even if you're working out in the middle, to finish your rep. I want you to stand up, okay? And listen to my voice. Listen to me tell you this. Get up off your butt. Stand up. I don't care what you're wearing. I don't care what you're doing. I just want you to start walking. And just like, I'm not saying model walk. I'm just saying like walk with confidence. Tilt your head up a little bit. Push your shoulders back and just walk. And just walk like you have confidence and just pretend that you do. Let's say you don't, pretend you do. Fake it till you make it, baby. That is the one thing that I've lived by. Okay? Now, how do you feel? Do you feel good? Do you feel great? Honestly, just pretend you're in a movie. Just pretend you're in a TV show and you're the main character. Pretend you're on a reality TV show. You wouldn't walk how you normally walk with your back hunched over if someone was filming you, would you? So pretend you're being filmed, That helps me so much. So you combine the great outfit, the jewelry, walking, forget it. It is over. And if you don't feel confident, like in your head, guess what? To everyone walking down the street, you are going to look like the baddest bitch ever. I swear. And then your confidence is going to radiate that, and it is going to get brought back to you. Maybe not in that day, but eventually. And then you just keep on going through that cycle, and eventually it'll start rubbing off on you, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it's working. I look so good. I feel so good in my own skin. I love this outfit. And then people are going to start to notice it. So that's what happened with me is I started wearing my outfits. I started walking. I did the thing. I started posting. I did not care what everyone's thinking. I didn't really care if people weren't following me because it was what I wanted to do and it was what made me feel good. So once I started doing that, in return, sometimes I would walk around and be like, I feel like I feel weird right now. People are staring at me. I don't really know what's going on. But once you kind of start to separate that and put that aside, you are going to feel so good about yourself and be like, you know what? Like everything that I've been forcing myself into about dressing a certain way and being a certain way is true because it's there for every single person. You just have to pull it out of yourself and it's going to take some work. Okay. It takes work to get up and put on a good outfit every day. It takes work to put on makeup every day. And I'm not saying you have to wear makeup. First of all, I barely wear it. And it takes work to figure out what you're going to do that day to help your confidence. It just takes time and effort to do anything. And it takes a lot of time and effort to build your confidence up and your self-esteem. And not going to lie, I've had so many days where I'm like, I'm just going to lay in bed and eat ice cream. And that's totally okay. You need to take those days to reflect, right? Because if you feel like that one day, then make sure the next day you don't feel that way. And if it starts, in the cycle, come back to me. Just come listen to the podcast, okay? Let me help you out. I was doing so good and wasn't getting interrupted at all, but I got a phone call. I don't know from who. Whoever it is, I'm going to freaking kill them after this, but that's okay. So to kind of wrap up the confidence thing, I know there's some questions in there too that I'm going to answer, but that's just kind of like the outside perspective that'll help shape your inside perspective a little bit in the confidence scheme and the self-esteem way. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on all that. I am a little bit all over the place for this episode just because I had a bunch of things I wanted to talk about and now I'm kind of changing them and it's been a really long day. So we're going to take a little break and we're going to talk about something really exciting. So I just got sponsored by Beachbox. So Beachbox is this amazing box and it's actually underneath my computer right now if you're watching the video. And I really wish I could, showcase it all, but I can't. It's a little bit hard to keep everything set up right now. But she is so sweet. She came into San Diego a while ago, and she's from LA, but she's lived in Carlsbad for 5 years. So I consider her a local at this point. And she created this thing during quarantine, and she's like, I'm going to make a beach box, because I feel like there's a lot of people that live in different states and stuff like that could have Carlsbad sent out to them, because I feel like Carlsbad is a kind of an aesthetic at some point, like in some ways. So she's sponsoring me. I got my own beach box. I made some videos about that if you want to go check them out. They're on the Instagram, and you can go see what's in the box. There's a bunch of videos on TikTok as well. So both platforms have pictures and stuff like that. So I'll be, having their stickers everywhere. They're on the truck. They're going to be pretty much everywhere. So she's sponsoring the podcast, and that's a good thing for you guys, because my listeners get a special discount code, and inside the box, you guys, it's locally crafted in Carlsbad. So if you just love Carlsbad and everything I do, it's a way to kind of get a piece of me, without having me there, and, just a piece of Carlsbad, which I'm in love with Carlsbad, lived here my whole life. So it's kind of really cool to see it go out to other people that are in love with it, even if you've never been here. So what's in it is kind of depends. There's like a blue box and a pink box. And personally, I recommend the pink box because pink is the best color ever. But I have my pink box right here, and what's in it is sunscreen. There's like Zinc sunscreen, which is also local, I believe. There's some pink zinc for me, and the colors kind of vary depending on what you order online. It came with a nice mask, which was really cool, and it came with this sweet blue blanket, and it's got this material. It's a kind of a beach blanket, and it's really, really cute. And I really like it. And I have like 5, and it's perfect because I'm just putting pretty much all of this stuff in my truck, and it's just easy, because sometimes it's really hard for me to go to like Hanson's or San Diego or wherever I go, Pipelines, to go get my stuff, when it's like I could just order it to me and get this cute box with it, and take pictures and stuff like that. So there's a discount code for the listeners and the followers that I have. It is Hot Cocoa 15 for 15% off your entire order. And that is it, basically. So use Hot Cocoa 15 for you guys if you would like to get a beach box. They're super cute. I think they run from like $50 to $100, but they're definitely worth your money because she puts a lot of time and effort into them, and it takes a lot to make these boxes. Like, think about all the materials in it. She's also said she's going to do like a seasonal box, and then eventually we're going to do like a Hot Cocoa beach box collab. So that'll be really, really fun. So go look out for that. That's really, really exciting. All right, you guys, we're kind of almost done with the podcast already, which I thought it was going to go longer, but I don't think it is. I'm kind of feeling a little bit ambivalent about this whole thing. I think it'll be better once I get some guests on. I'm also really tired. It's been like 4 hours of setup, but I hope you guys are getting some good advice and stuff like that from this, and we just kind of wanted to test the waters on this episode and just kind of start to get back in the swing of things. So I promise things will get better, and as my life gets crazier, I started school as well, which I haven't talked about yet either, but we're only 2 weeks in, so I have nothing to complain about. It's online. It's a lot of reading and writing. I have a couple quizzes to do after this, and it kind of sucks, but I'm not going to complain about it. I don't like talking about school as it is, so we're not going to. We're going to answer your guys' questions. I put up something on Instagram. I had you guys answer a few things, or I put up on there. I asked people to ask me questions. So there's a lot. I'm going to skip a couple of them just for like time's sake. And some of them are repeats. So here we go. So Sophia Murray asked right off the bat, there's a lot of Micah questions. Are you dating someone? And the answer to that is yes. His name is Elon Musk. No, I'm just kidding. It's, I don't know. I hate talking about this. Like, it's so weird for me still. Yes, I'm dating someone. Micah is my boyfriend, and he's on my Instagram. If you want to know what he looks like, he's pretty cute, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's all I'm just gonna answer yes, because there's more Micah. There's like 4 or 5 questions about him, so we'll get into it. And for the record, he does not listen to the podcast, so I can say whatever I wanted about him, and he wouldn't care, or he wouldn't listen to it. But that's okay. The next question is about Micah, and you guys really just want to know about our personal life and just like dive into it, which I kind of appreciate. It's kind of funny. So this says, do you see you and Micah being together for a long period of time? Now, I'm not going to answer yes or no to this question. I'm going to use the little loophole I got here. There is a difference between a fun relationship and a serious relationship, I think. And for me, Micah is my first boyfriend, and I don't take being in a relationship lightly. I don't like put the label on it for fun. So I would say that it's a serious relationship, and that we think future wise. So I would say yes for right now. I don't really see it ending anytime soon. We were also friends first. So that's like a big advice thing I would give you guys if you've never been in a relationship. Like, don't always look for it. It's hard, obviously, not to, because I know in our culture, in our society, it looks like you always have to, like, I mean, less now, but like, at least in my generation, I've always grown up and been like, I need a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend, not I want a boyfriend. And now that I'm actually in it, it's way different than it is. But Mike and I were like really good friends for 5 months beforehand. So that really helped our relationship as it is, because we are more friendly and more close in that aspect. So I would say be friends with your boyfriend or girlfriend first. And then Micah decided to ask his own question. And he said, is your boyfriend a good surfer? And because he asked me it, I'm going to say no. But in reality, yes, he's a very good surfer. And he said, why is your boyfriend the best? I don't know. I really don't know, you guys. Big Kid Pants, which is Anthony, said, how do bus drivers close the door when they aren't in the bus? Oh my gosh, I never thought about that. Maybe there's an outside button. No, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not going to get into that. Okay, Rachel Sacken said, how did you meet your mans? Wow, a lot of Micah questions, which I get it, you guys. It's a shock. I know. It's a shock for me, too, that I have a boyfriend. It's crazy. So Micah and I met, I think, in March about, he has an older brother named Jordan who I was friends with. I met him in December at San Diego, and he was friends with our friend Camden. So Jordan introduced me to Micah one day. We were hanging out. We went to Dip in the Road, which is a surf spot by us. We watched the surf for a couple hours, picked up donuts, and then brought him to Micah after he went surfing in Oceanside. So I met Micah over there, and meanwhile, you guys, Micah has this really painted van, and it's just like yellow with a bunch of flowers all over it. That's his new one. And his old one just used to be like super spray painted as well. So yeah, it is kind of weird for me to meet him, and I didn't find him attractive at all or anything like that. Like, I just try to like think of everyone as friends at first. But yeah, that's kind of how we met. And then Mike introduced me to his friend group, and then I started hanging out with his friends. And then Mike and I started spending a lot of like friend time together. He surfed a lot, so that was mostly what we did. We just kind of surfed together all the time, which was really fun. Yeah, so that's how we met, basically just through his brother and stuff. So now we're really close, and which is really fun because now I'm super close with his brother, and I'm obviously in a relationship with Micah, so it kind of makes it really fun. And his whole family's great, by the way. Girl talk, please. Girl talk, is that the question? Okay, I'm gonna try to read this. It says Lily. I can't pronounce your last name. I'm really sorry. Girl talk, please. By the way, I have been loving the episodes for long drives and feeling productive. That makes me happy. I hope that it makes you feel productive. I'm hoping next week I'll have more content. Maybe I'll do some fun things. I know this weekend is Labor Day, so it's probably going to be pretty hectic. So I'm assuming that there's going to be more content and like fun things to talk about. I just really want to talk to you guys about confidence, like motivation for this week, because I feel like that's what we need to talk about at the start of the month, you know, kind of get in the right mindset. So yes, Lily, next week there will be a lot more girl talk. Delaney, of course, the bae, she asked, what is your biggest goal in life at the moment? And that's a good question. I think right now I really want to get my associate's degree, and so I can travel right after that. And my biggest goal right now is just to kind of focus on this, is the podcast and surfing and just kind of enjoying life. So that's a pretty easy way to put it. Who would okay you in the movie of your life? Who would play me? I'm assuming play me in the movie of my life. That's such a good question. I feel like I'm such a unique person that no one can be me. So I'm going to say me. I got the same question. Are you dating someone? Yes. Ooh, this is a good one. So Lily, same Lily. Is it Carnavis? I can't say it. I'm super sorry. She said, how to maintain positive energy and mindset during this time. Great question. So there's been a lot of negative talks, negative news, and everything going on with Corona and just everything that's going on right now. And one thing that's really helped me is taking some time away from friends, which is crazy, and staying off my phone. I'm really into like crystals and starting to get into that kind of stuff, like horoscopes and stuff like that. So there's a lot of self-help within that. And it's really just finding like your niche and like doing what you would like to stay positive, right? So for me, I try to keep a schedule. So like Monday through Friday, I'm like working my ass off. So Saturday and Sunday, I can have like a chill, relaxed time. And that's really hard to do, obviously, during a pandemic and everything gets pretty crazy and it's just exhausting, obviously. But to stay positive, I feel like you have to look positive, and it kind of goes back to like the confidence thing. Whereas like if you dress to impress, you're going to feel kind of that way. And, you know, kind of listen to things that make you feel good. Like if this podcast makes you feel good, then listen to it and like kind of take that as your new lifestyle. It can be really easy to scroll on TikTok for hours and stuff, but I feel like that doesn't really benefit you in that many ways. And like it does help sometimes, but there's like a certain point where it's like healthy, and there's a certain part where it's not healthy. So kind of try to take some time to yourself, surround yourself with people that love you. And even when you're not feeling okay and when it gets hard to do school and stuff, because I know most of us are in school right now and it's really difficult, take a step back and light a candle, you know, read a book, do something to distract yourself. Like I've always said, is like distractions, but healthy distractions are the way to kind of keep your positive mindset through everything. And let go of things you can't control. That is one of the biggest things that I've learned, is there's a lot of things that we can't control in this world, and situations that arise in our lives that we can't control. And it's kind of your job to say, I can't control this. I'm going to let it go. And it is what it is, basically. And if there is a situation that you can control or something that you want to help, then do that. But the things that you can't control, it takes more energy to get worked up about it and think about it more than it is just to let it go and let the universe deal with it. So that's a big thing. What have you learned through quarantine? What are some skills you've lost? So some things I've learned through quarantine is a lot of my marketing and stuff like that, and TikToking. I think I did really well over quarantine. What I did learn the most though was how to be alone. I had no idea how to be alone and do my own thing when I was in high school and stuff like that. But now I think I was forced to be alone and inside my house for so long that I have learned that it's okay to be by myself, and I know how to spend time with myself now. Some things that I've lost is friends. I've lost a lot of friends for sure. But I've gained a lot of new ones. So there's always a negative, but there's always a positive influence with it. And I've also gained a lot of confidence and stuff like that, just by finding myself, and figuring out who I am, what I like, what I don't like, and stuff like that. And always sticking up for myself. That's a big thing too. A lot of people in life are going to try to knock you down, but you just got to stand back up. So yeah. And Faith said that. So thanks, Faith. And then Faith also asked, how did you and your boyfriend meet? But, you know, we already chatted about that one. And, okay, we're almost done. We got a couple more questions. Maddie asked a couple of the following questions. She said, my favorite season. So my favorite season right now my favorite month is September. I think my favorite season is fall going into winter. That's definitely my favorite. I don't like summer because it's super crowded here and it's hot, and I mean, maybe in like a different state or country or something, I'll like it better. But yeah, I would say fall bleeding into winter. What's my favorite thing to do when I'm bored? I make a lot of videos when I'm bored. I do my makeup, you know, just kind of things to make me feel better when I'm bored. I hate being bored. It sucks. Any book recommendations? That's a very good question. I should make some videos on that. I've read a lot of books. Right now I'm reading one that I'm looking at called The Prize Girl. It's pretty good. There's this play called Dear Evan Hansen too, and I read that book, and that book is very good. So I would say go read those two, Prize Girl and Dear Evan Hansen. What's my favorite thing about doing TikTok? I love my vlogs. They're a lot of work, but I do love them. I think my favorite thing is waking up in the morning and seeing what everyone comments. I don't really get as many comments anymore, but I love seeing the feedback that everyone gets because I feel like they're all genuine, and girls look up to me, which is like a really big thing. Yeah, and I just really like seeing what other people come up with too, and kind of use like spitballing off of other creators and stuff like that. Okay, Beachbox, which we love, asked what is next for Hot Cocoa merch. So we are kind of in the works still of the stickers and stuff like that. But we're going to be doing shirts if this pops off in a couple months. And like we said with Beachbox, we're going to do collabs. We're super excited about that. She also mentioned socks. Socks would be cool. So our next thing would probably be shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that. And I was really thinking, I'm really into like the cowboy hats and stuff, which you guys have seen. I was thinking about doing a cowboy hat and then printing the podcast logo on that too, which I think would be really fun. All right, our last question is, what was most scary about getting into your first relationship? That's a very good question. Micah can attest on this, that I went back and forth for a solid month before I decided that we were official, of it, whether I really liked him or not, or if we were just friends. But yeah, I've never really been in like an official relationship, and it's all any like girl has dreamed about, I feel like, or at least me growing up, is like being with someone. And because I have a really big heart, so it's like weird for me not to be with someone. So when I finally made the decision to be with Micah, I was terrified of like messing it up, doing something that I didn't mean. I have a lot of emotions, and kind of just like opening up to him. And, we're obviously only 2 months in, so it's, still kind of new. But I feel like we are really close already, which is really fun. But also like trusting him with my information, like my secrets and stuff like that, and vice versa for him as well. So it's kind of just trusting and being with someone that's really scary. But once you get past that, it can only get better from here, I feel like. So yeah, it's been really fun. It's been only good things. And there's always, like, when you start dating someone, I feel like at the first 2 or 3 week mark, it's always super weird. It was really weird for Mike and I, but like once we got past that, it's been really good. So yeah. So that's all the questions we have for today, and that's kind of where I'm going to end the episode. So make sure you guys go order your stickers, go get your beached boxes if you want. I know we're all trying to like cling on to summer as much as we can right now. So yeah, that concludes this week's episode. Make sure you go watch the TikToks and Instagrams and stuff like that. And we will see you next week. Next week, we're probably going to have a guest. So I'm excited. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye.